That's a normal, it's a good, healthy hygiene from the stress. So Peter said, he's a fisherman. I go fishing. Yeah, we go too. So there's a group of them that go out on the Sea of Galilee all night long and catch zip, nothing. In John 21, it records how in the morning, in the early mists of morning, they've struck out, not a thing. They see someone, and I can understand, they can't tell who it is, somebody on the shore, and hey guys, you catch anything? No. Put your net on the other side of the boat. Like that's going to make a difference, you know? But they do, and the net gets so full of fish, they can hardly handle it, and John connects the dots. That's the Lord. How's he know that? Because that happened once before early in the ministry. Same kind of thing, roughly. Well, John, right, that's the Lord. Peter, lovable Peter, he drops his coat and dives in. You can't wait for them to pull in. They're all struggling to get these fish in. But anyway, so they pull it in. And when they get there, this is the part that's interesting. When they finally get there to the shore, Jesus has cooked breakfast for them. How many of you have had a biblical breakfast, had fish this morning? Huh? Fish and bread is what he had. He over the fire. He had a breakfast cooking. But there is a statement. When I get to heaven, there's a lot of things I probably want to do, but among the first things I want to do, I want to go to John and say, what on earth did you mean by verse 12 of the last chapter of the gospel? Because it puzzles me. Verse 12, Jesus said, come and dine. And none of the disciples durst ask him, who art thou, knowing that it was the Lord. What on earth does that sentence mean? That's one of those sentences that creates doubt rather than resolves it. Let me give you an example of what I mean. Let's assume you're driving to a social engagement an hour away from home, and you're halfway there. You turn to your wife and say, did you turn off the stove? If she says, yes, I did, you keep driving. But what if she says, I'm sure I did? What do you do with that? You know, it's one of those kinds of statements. It sort of creates doubt rather than none of us dared ask him, who art thou, because we knew it was him. Do you hear in this some kind of enigma lurking behind the scenes? Well, our whole premise in our ministry is that there are prophecies that are fulfilled, and when fulfilled, they're fulfilled precisely. And I'm going to suggest to you that there is a detail of the crucifixion. First of all, I'm glad that Mel Gibson apparently didn't take advantage